life. One of them was last September, and one of them was this September. No more coming up, but who's to say? Who knows? I'm waiting on my friend Meg to get engaged. Feel like it'll be soon. Don't know if you're here, Meg. Mia could also be here. Um, how are you all doing? It's been another week already, which I just cannot believe. I feel like time, again, is going so fast and yet also so slow at the same time, which I'm not a fan of. Not really a super big fan of. Um, what are we reading? I want to know. Hence why, I mean, usually I would yap a lot more, right? In my streams, I would usually have a lot more to talk about. I would usually uh talk for most of it and then maybe do like one sprint or two. However, this week we are going to have to go with majority sprints because my voice is genuinely just fucked. I mean, you could hear it. We have Hattie, we got Hannah, and the red one. Apologies, cannot remember who that is. My brain's just not working. Um, it's not Charlotte, is it? Could be me just being silly. I feel like Charlotte's someone else. I have slept like all day today. I almost did not um stream. I woke up at like 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. and I was like, guys, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I really don't know if I'm going to make it today. Hattie's plan is to write and then read some more of Air. Lovely, lovely. I'm going to give you an update on what I'm reading and what I have read. Um, yeah, get Rosie off to sleep first. That's the priority, 100%. I have I read much in this last week? Is my throat hurting or just going? It was hurting, but I just had an ice cream, so it doesn't hurt right now. um, it was hurting earlier. It doesn't hurt now, just because I just had a. Well, it wasn't a Mars ice cream. It was a fake Mars ice cream from Aldi called Titan, which is a moon around Jupiter. It's nothing to do with Mars, but sure, you go for it. Whatever they want to say. We can do the stream in silence. You say that I haven't even got our ASMR ready or anything. Like, it's really bad, actually. And I've just realised when I changed my thing, I haven't set anything up. I'm so bad. Ren! Yes. I need to find my ASMR. Didn't expect you to remember. I will try. I will try. Try for next week. Well, this week I'll remember, obviously. Today I'll remember. But next week I'll try my best. Right. Oh, sorry. I was just picking an ASMR for later. Um, what have I read this week? I don't know if I've read anything in the meantime, like since we last spoke last Sunday. I'm trying to have a look at my Goodreads. Oh, I have. Hang on. I have. Where am I? Here we are. I'm pretty sure I hadn't finished Evocation last week. I don't think I'd finished it. I mean, I can check, right? I can literally check what the date was. Is it going to load? Hannah finished the book that wouldn't burn. The pacing was a bit iffy, but absolutely loved it. This is the thing with the new Mark Lawrence, the book that wouldn't burn. Like, I hated the moon one so much. The moon one. The girl and the stars. And then the second one was the girl and the moon. I hated it so much. Like I read the first one, I just hated it so much that I like really it really put me off Mark Lawrence. Even though Red Sister is like one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I think it's right here somewhere. Yeah, it's literally like next to me over there. When did I read this? September 10th. Yeah, I must have finished this week because it's only the 15th today. So I would have finished it like Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so I gave it. Well, here's my review. You can read it. Ren's currently reading Fragile Threads of Power. Only one chapter in there because my head hurts struggling to read a day. Oh my god, I hate when I just really don't want to read physically. And I'm like, I would love to read. So, okay, I would love to read an audiobook then because I'm like my whole brain is like not working or like I feel too ill to read physically. But then I can't pick an audiobook or I can't find an audiobook I want. So then I just hate myself because I'm not reading. But Evocation, I gave 4.25 stars. If we're being specific, I very rarely give like a quarter of a star. Oh, the child's just absolutely like. I don't know if you heard that. Jesus Christ. I think she's just getting some steam out. I very rarely give a quarter of a star. Hello? Hello? Hi? Hello? Are you okay? Oh, you stink. Go away. You are stinky. Ooh, I don't know what you smell of, but I don't like it. That was gross. You can go away. Disgusting. Hey, Leonie. I love that little emoji thing. What do they call them on Twitch? I can't remember what they call them. That's so bad. I'm actually just so dead today, so just ignore anything I say. I'm probably talking absolute rubbish. Emotes, that's it. Bloody hell, honestly. Hannah picked up. Oh, you picked up Amari 3 last night. I've seen your review, but I remain optimistic. Okay. In defense of my Amari review, I mean, yeah, that's just how I felt about it. It had less structure. It was still really good. I still really love the world, like, and I still am very excited for the next book. I think just compared to the first two, it didn't have as many like stakes or like seriousness. Like it felt a bit too be serious. Like, come on, what, he's killing people? Are you for real? It just didn't seem that serious. Do you know what I mean? Oh my god, Leonie, you're hungover waiting for a Chinese. I'm still hungover from fucking Friday. Oh my lord. Bluebell, please, can you get a grip? Oh, I'd bloody love a Chinese. I did have chips earlier though. I kind of regretted it. You know when you get like a takeaway and then it just doesn't hit like you think it will, and then you're like, well, I just ate all that for what? And spent all that money for what? Anyway, back to evocation. Yeah, I rarely give a quarter of a star, but for some reason with this one, I just really felt like it needed it because it like a 4 star is still really good. Like I think a 4 star review is a very good review. I very rarely give a 5 star. In fact, I've nearly reached 100 5 stars on my like I've got a shelf on Goodreads that's just got all my 5 star reviews. I think there's like 95 currently. But that doesn't include like stuff I read when I was younger, so like Inkheart or like Twilight or anything like that, because I've not read those things since I got Goodreads. So I don't know if I would have given those any of those 5 stars when I was younger. I might have. Maybe I'll reread them and we'll see. I feel like when I was 11, I probably would have given every single book in the Twilight Saga a 5 star. Like, it's not exactly objective. Why are you whining? Hannah said that's good to hear about Amari. Hatti's nearly finished writing chapter 93 and I want to write chapter 94 or at least start it. You definitely will. You definitely will start it, right? Well, I hope you will. But yeah, with Evocation, I just really, really like S.T. Gibson. Genuinely, I think she's probably an insta-buy author for me at this point because I really, really loved A Dowry of Blood. I really, really loved An Education in Malice. And I really, really loved Evocation. I think all of them have either been like a 4 or like a 4.5 or somewhere in between. I'm just going to check. Yeah, there we go. A 4 for Dowry of Blood. Oh god, Core Pile. Remember that? Remember when I bothered to use Core Pile? An Education in Malice. I'm pretty sure this was a 4 as well. It was not a 5. 4.25. That's so funny. Like, I rarely give quarter stars, but I happen to give a quarter to this and to Evocation. I find that quite funny. That's interesting. I think because her like prose is so good, even though maybe some elements are a little bit lacking in some of her books, the prose is so good that it really brings it up. And it just really, like, for me, means that she needs that quarter of a star, you know? I really do think that. So yeah, since last week we've had Evocation. Did I tell you I reread Akatar? I reread it in a day, so I don't even remember when it was. September 9th. So yeah, I reread Akatar. I didn't even let you know this. I reread it in a day on the graphic audio, and it was fine. And I actually really wanted to move on to Akamath, but funnily enough, last week we were saying how Everand's never cut us off. Everand did, in fact, cut me off. So I cannot read Akamath on graphic audio until the 19th of September. But that's not too bad, considering it cut me off around the 8th. Sorry, the 9th. To only, like, say, like, oh, 10 days you can have it, babe. Like, it's fine. That's not too bad. I didn't have to wait a whole month. That's the good part. But I do really want to reread Akamath on graphic audio. I'll be real. The only reason I reread Akatar is because I haven't read it in 7 years. And I would probably reread Akamath on its own regardless, like multiple times. But I do want to move on to Silver Flames after I've reread the first three. And that was the only reason I reread the first one. I really just wanted to reread the second one. But I don't know if it's autism, but I just have to do things in full. Like, I can't just reread one of them. Like, I have to reread the whole thing. This is why I've reread Red Rising like 7 times, like the first book. Because I've reread... When I first read Red Rising, only the first 3 books were out. Like, he hadn't done a sequel. Hadn't done Iron Gold yet. And I think I reread it 2 or 3 times. Sorry, I read it 2 or 3 times total before Iron Gold was even out. Because I just loved it that much. And then every time a new book has come out, I've reread the entire thing. Like, so I reread the first 3 like 3 times. And then I've done 1 to 4. And then I've reread 1 to 5. And then I think is it the 6th one that came out? Yeah. But then I also reread 1 to 5 twice. Or 1 to 4 twice. I can't remember. I've read them so many fucking times. So many times. It's not even funny. And yeah, they also cut you off on reading Akatar. I'm not surprised. It's very it's especially the graphic audio, I can imagine, is very popular. So hey, Yvette, happy Sunday. Just popped in to say hi. Well, hello to you, Yvette. I'm just going through what I've read in the last week. I also did read Bonded by Thorns. Basically, this was all over my Instagram because it came in the Fairy Loot Romantasy box. It must have been last month. It must have been August because they were doing the read along or whatever. And like, it was saying it was reverse harem and like 4 females and then like, you know, spice and this and that. And I was like, holy shit. I didn't realize like Fairy Loot would be in like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew they did romantasy, but like the romantasy that I've seen come out of boxes before has been like from Blood and Ash, where there's loads of build up. There's like a couple of spicy scenes, but like nowhere near the amount that you would get on like a Kindle Unlimited like spicy book. Nowhere near. But this was like spice, and they were like saying all over Instagram it's like spicy. So I was like, okay. I hate calling it spice, by the way. It feels so juvenile, but it is what it is. Sex, smut, whatever you want to call it. So I thought I would give it a chance because I was in a bit of a funny mood. Everyone had cut me off from Akamath, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to read anything. So I was like, I'm in a romantic mood, so let's just pick this up then if it's on Kindle Unlimited, which it was. And it was awful. Where's my review? I gave it 1 star. It was so bad. Like, I really liked the premise and the start because it's modern day, like, but then she gets taken into like a fairy world, but it's modern day, and it reminded me a lot of the Spiderwick Chronicles because it was basically like her mum went missing when she was younger, and her dad is like convinced that it was fairies, and he spent his whole life like being the crazy guy in the village, and like he spends all his money and spends all of his time like going around looking for evidence of fairies and like basically trying to find his wife, and it's been like 25 years. Um, and the main character, I don't even know her name. Doesn't even say in this bit. I'm trying to skim read this thing. It's not even her. It's just, I don't know her name. The main character. Oh, Rosie, something like. Oh, Rosie. Here we are, Hattie. Rosaline. She's the main character. She, at first, I liked her a bit. Like she seemed a very typical, um, main character, like female main character. Like she's really gorgeous and pretty, but like she doesn't really understand that. Like she doesn't. You don't know you're beautiful. Like that kind of vibe. And at first I was like, okay, like I can be down with this. Like it's not that bad. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just, it is what it is. It's fantasy romance. We're not looking for like Shakespearean levels of literature here. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, let's go on with that. And then at the beginning, like the guy that's meant to be like, so this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So the guy that's like the Gaston of the show of the show. Have you watched the show, Tamar? The Gaston of the book is just so cartoonishly bad. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like the dialogue is not how people speak. It's just nobody speaks like that. I'm sorry. Like that is just not how it is. It was just really bad and just really cartoonishly evil for like a normal person in like a normal modern world, like our world. Sorry, I keep burping. It's so gross. Um, so already that like had thrown me off a bit, and I was like, okay, I mean, this guy's not going to be in the book really, so maybe we can look past that. And then she goes over to the world, the Fey world, and there's 4 princes and blah 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 and all this. And I just didn't feel like the characters had any kind of characterization. I couldn't really, the only difference between any of the characters was that they were all from different seasons, and that's the only thing that tore them apart. Like I could tell them apart. Otherwise it's just like, oh, they're fit and I fancy them, and it's like, well, duh. There was like no tension. I felt like there was no build up. And then I like started to, basically I got to about 25-30% where I was actually reading it, and then I started skimming it. I was like, I'm gonna skim it now because I'm bored. So I started skimming it, and I was just like, okay, blah blah blah. I skimmed to like a sex scene. It was fairly well written. Like it was okay. I wouldn't have said it was anything special by any means at all. So I was like, okay. And then there's like an MM scene, because you can see it down here. It includes MF and MM content. So there's an MM scene, and it's like, it just felt like it was written by a straight white woman, which it is, and that's fine. But like, and it's just obvious. And it's just like, you just want to write about men having sex, but you wanted to sell it, so you had to like put a woman in there. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like to me. It felt like she wanted to write an MM romance, but she wanted to sell it like, what's the word? Traditionally, and like publish it and more, and like have more of an audience. So she needed to have a female main character. Like for me, I felt like she cared more about the 2 MM people than like her main character and the rest of them as a whole. Also, like I just didn't get the dynamics of having them as the 4. Like I read, okay, listen to me. I read a lot of reverse harem. Okay, a girl's got a dream, guy's got a dream. That's just, I'm just gonna leave that as that. And if you have more than one love interest, you really, really have to work out like what the dynamics are gonna be with all 4 of these people with this one person. Are any of them gonna be together? Do any of them care if like, swords cross or whatever? Are any of them in love? Are any of them in platonic love also, maybe? Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of dynamics that go into it, and I feel like it's actually quite hard to do well. But a lot of people just like write, or they love like reverse harem when it's just like oh my god, I've read somewhere there's like 8 love interests, and I'm like, girl, this is too much. Like you're doing too much. There's no way you can characterize 8 people plus the the female. It just doesn't work. It's too many people, and then it's just smut then, and it's not even good smut. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not going well. So I really hated this. A lot of people really liked it. Look, friends and following, 11 people. I don't know who Lily is. I don't know why I follow her, but sure, she's giving it a 4.5. I can't remember who Izzy is either. She's giving it 5. Katerina Page 3. Not that bad. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people have loved it, but I don't know if I was in a particularly, what's the word? It's not bad mood. It's like, I don't know if I was in a particularly just like critical mood, I guess. But this just was not good. But also, I don't know if a lot of people haven't read a lot of reverse harem. Do you know what I mean? Like, so for them, this was like, oh my God. But for me, it was like, I've read much better. Although I read a lot of like darker reverse harem, to be fair. But I love a bit of fluff. Love a bit of fluff. Love a bit of like, you know, just like, oh, yay. Lovely. We love you. Type stuff. I tell you what I do need to read. I need to look at my books that I've read because I've forgotten what it's called. But there was a reverse harem trilogy that I started. This one, Ensnared, Entangled, and then the new one wasn't out yet at the time. These are so good. Oh, Hattie, you got a new Kindle case. I want to see it. So, Ensnared by Rebecca Quinn. I would highly recommend this. Now, 5 is at the top end of like, that's about as much as I would handle of like love interests. I don't think you can do much with more than 5. Like, you can't really get into the depth of them. This book is actually pretty good, like plot wise as well as like smut wise and romance wise. It's kind of like basically The Walking Dead type world, like type future, type dystopian, except there aren't zombies, but it's just, you know, like how in The Walking Dead, like a lot of the threats, especially more later on in the series, are just other groups of humans. Like, fuck the zombies, they're probably fucking useless at this point. Season 10, it's like, oh, someone got bit, oh well, cut their hand off. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you have fucking Negan fucking around and he is insane. So this is basically The Walking Dead world if there were no zombies and it was all just like humans being evil and like doing what they want in like after a war. And this one girl basically gets chased by at the beginning she's like getting chased by these other people, and then these men save her essentially and they take her back to their compound, and then things happen. So Hattie says her first harem was one that was also cult based. It was very interesting. That sounds good. I want to know. So this one I would highly recommend. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I think I gave it 5 stars. 4. Okay. 4. That's fine. Oh, Hattie, you sent me a picture on Instagram. I'm going to look now. Instagram. Oh, pretty. I'm going to show everyone if that's okay. It's kind of hard to see, but lovely. Lovely little winter background. Gorge. Yeah, so I would highly recommend Ensnared. And I think the next one is Entangled. I don't know whether I want to reread them before I do number 3. Is it even out yet? It didn't even... This came out December last year. So maybe it's December this year. Entangled. Yeah, look, number 3 isn't there. When's number 3 out? I thought it was out already. Huh. Maybe it's out in like December or something. I really hope she hasn't like not done it. Well, I gave this one 4.5, the second one. Look, literally this is what I said. It does do well with relationship dynamics, PTSD and friendships. Yeah. It's very good. But I'm not going to read... Look how many fucking pages it is, though. It's so long. But I'm not going to reread them if the third one isn't out yet. Oh, Angel Lawson. Yeah. I I love the Royals of Forsyth View. One of the best Kindle Unlimited. I think I 5-starred. So there's 7 books out. No. Well, there's 9 books out now. I've not read the most recent one yet. And I 5-starred 7 out of the 8. I gave the 8th one a 4-star. And I don't know whether I want to reread the first 2 because they come in trilogies, but it's all one story, but they're all in trilogies. I don't know whether to reread the first 2 before reading the 3rd one. There's probably no point because it is literally just erotica. Like, realistically. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know Angel Lawson wrote Serendipitous Back. An urban utopia. Oh, they always have the stupidest fucking names. Elon, Silas, and Levi. Rex. What kind of fucking... I matched with Rex. I love it. Absolutely love it. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm putting that on my list. Is this you, Harriet? Love that. I'll probably read that. Easy peasy. Anyway, and then the other thing that I read this week was a very quick Kindle Unlimited read. Oh god, I've done too much Runaway Hugh Cow. This is literally just monster romance. And it's like Minotaur and like a cow woman. I can't believe it has 4 stars on here. Only 293 ratings. Only 293 people have read this book. I feel very privileged. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. It was just a Kindle Unlimited quickly. Like, do you know what I mean? One of those. I wouldn't really recommend it. Anyway, the rest of what I've been reading this week, I started Buried Deep in Other Stories, which is the Naomi Novik short story collection. I have read like half of them, I think, at this point. Although it's a lot longer. There's a lot of stories in there because I've read like 6 of them and I was like, damn, I'm not even halfway yet. And then I also, because I got an arc of this, and then I also got an arc of the new Alexis Henderson, which is An Academy for Liars, which is, spoiler, it is going to be in a book box. I won't say which one just in case people care. And it's a horror / fantasy / dark academia. And I'm only about 50 pages in, but I'm very, very intrigued. It's going really well. I'm really hoping that like I'm getting 5-star vibes, but I don't know yet because I have no idea what the plot is going to be because it's kind of just been a bit completely out of left field so far. But I'm really enjoying it. I am really enjoying it, and that is what I'm going to be reading tonight. Last night, I don't know if anyone saw my Instagram story. My iPad just like freaked out basically and like green screened itself. And not in a good way, not in like a green screen way, in like a Matrix, oh shit, this is crashing way. But it seems to be fine now. Like I've just got my BorrowBox, not BorrowBox, my NetGalley Shelf app seems to be working okay on it. So I'm just going to ignore the fact that it was not working last night and it turned itself on and off like 6 times. We're just not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it at all. Yeah, the book, not my iPad. But yeah, it's going well. That's it. I wouldn't have said it's very scary so far, but I think if something like this were to be like, I can see how if it were to be adapted to the screen, how you would make it scary. I think I haven't read really any horror, to be honest, but I do struggle to see how like a book can be scary, I guess. Maybe that's just me being naive or like stupid, but I do struggle with the idea that like a book could make me scared. I don't know. I don't know. And Buried Deep is all right so far. I think a lot of the stories were in previous short story collections, like lots of different ones, but I have not read any of them. So it's all new stories for me. They've all been pretty good so far. I think I've given a couple of 4s, couple of 3s, and then I gave a 5 to Buried Deep, which is the it's the titular short story. And that's like a retelling of Ariadne and the Minotaur. Really good, really good retelling. And I've read Ariadne by, is it Jennifer Saint? I've got it up there. I'm pretty sure it's Jennifer Saint. I've read Ariadne by her as well, so like I know the story already. But I felt like it was a very, I don't want to say fresh take, because it's like Greek myth, right? Like everyone knows Greek myth and everyone retells Greek myth all the time, but I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good. I've already read the Scholomance story that was in here, which was one of 2 new stories that are in here. And I'm looking forward to reading the short story that's set in her new world, which hasn't come out yet. I can't remember what it's called, but she's got a new book coming out, and there's a short story in this that's set in that same world. I don't know which one it is, so I don't know what it's called. But I guess I will know at the end of the story, because at the end of each short story it tells you like this was originally in blah 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 book of short stories. So if it doesn't have one at the end, then I'll know it was that then, I guess. Right. Trying to think. I think that's it. I think we're just going to get on with some fucking reading. I think that's what we need to do. Although, Hattie, you will be writing. Just to remind you. Hattie did message me earlier and said, please remind me I need to be writing. So I'm reminding you now, Hattie, you should be writing. As long as Rosie's asleep. That's the priority. Ooh, Hannah said she feels like she's about to have a middle grade. Oh my god. A middle grade binge. Loving how easy it is to read Amari. This is the thing, like, I was in a real epic fantasy like mood, and I read like 3 epic fantasies, and then I got burnt out, and then I read middle grade, and I was like, ooh, and I bought like 2 middle grades. But now I'm reading a horror, so I'm like, my brain's just not good. Rosie currently says no. Oh dear. Oh yeah, Hannah, you finished The Picture of Dorian Gray. Didn't understand half of that book. Well, at least you've now read it, and you can say that you've read it. Right? Okay, I'm going to try and do what I did last week. Now, I cannot quite remember what I did. If I do, I think I had like a new window, and I had a timer, because I have to do it a specific way. Oh god, my shoulder is so itchy. I have to do it a specific way, because if I have my thing on full screen, like the ASMR on full screen, then the timer won't go down, which is so great and so fun. And I just forgot to think of a different way to do it. So I didn't set this up beforehand. So what I'm going to do is be really, really gross and disgusting and like not aesthetic in any way, shape or form. I like the girls who do drugs, girls with cigarettes in the back of the club. It's just stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head for days. And we're just going to do this. And we're going to do, oh, look, it's 7:35 now. So exactly 45 minutes. And I will see you back here in 45 minutes. Goodbye. looking this up. How did we do? How are we all doing? I got distracted for the first 20 minutes by my phone. But I've put it down now, and I did carry on. I made myself a cup of tea. I've got some biscuits, and I carried on with An Academy for Liars. I'm on page 72. I started around page 50, I think, so I'm pretty sure it's around 22 pages. I'm just going to check how many pages are actually in this book. I think it's about 450-ish. Like one of those. That's a nice length for a book, I feel. Oh, it says 464 pages. But in the arc, like, I don't know how to say it. In the app, it says I'm on page 80 of 464, but the actual page number is 72. Because, like, weirdly, I don't know if you guys have used the NetGalley Shelf app before, but if you send your arcs to your Kindle, it kind of like fucks up the formatting. But if you use the NetGalley Shelf app, like, it's just fine. But I'm 100% sure. Okay, maybe not 100. Like, I'm like 80% sure that they just like photocopy pages for this PDF. Like, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know how to show you it. I don't know if I can. Like, oh, it's too hard to see. It's too hard to see. But like, you can see the proper page number and like the little symbols, and like you're looking at a page exactly as if you were looking at it in a book. So I feel like it's literally just the manuscript printed out and scanned into a PDF that they upload. Who knows? I actually want to look at my NetGalley. Because I want to finish the Naomi Novik, because it's already come out. But I'm usually way more behind than this, so I'm not that bothered. I've got so many old ones that I need to read, and also ones that like I've got doubled up. I've got 3 doubles on my NetGalley that where I think like I've accidentally requested them on both the UK and the US site, so then they've both come through into one account still. But it's just weird. And that's All of Us Villains, Under the Whispering Door, and The First Binding, all 3 of which I still want to read. So eventually I'll read them, but my current feedback ratio is 61%, which I feel like isn't that bad. Oh, though it does say recommend ratio is 80%. I'm still being approved for stuff though. Like, I got An Academy for Liars only like 2 days ago. But I really should like catch up on my NetGalley, especially considering if I look at like the ones that I've got on there, my shelf. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right, so there's 15 books on here. However, 3 of those are doubles, so 12 books realistically. And only 2 of them aren't out yet. So I really, really should go back and read them. I really, really should. I've just realised, oh, okay, my mic is working. I thought it wasn't for a sec. I'm having a really good time with An Academy for Liars. I'm still having a good time. There's been like a sex scene, but it's not a sex scene. It was literally like, she said, like, we did what we needed to do, and then I wiped my thighs with my sweater afterwards. I was like, okay. It wasn't with anyone in particular. Like, it was just with a random person, so it's not like I really care. But I hope if there is like a romance of some kind that we get a little bit more. But who knows? Who knows if that'll happen? I hope we all did well though. I hope, Hattie, that you managed to get Rosie to sleep. I hope that you managed to get some writing done. I am kind of just getting distracted now by looking at NetGalley stuff. I have requested Air as well by Sabata here. Dashboard. Find titles. I don't look through it super often, but when I do, I always manage to request like too many things. Most requested books. Oh, hang on, let me share my screen. Look at this. Look at this. Whoa. The Wraith King. No, that is not a name. That is not a name. Goliath Verbane. Princess of Issos. That sounds Greek. Wow. I need to see the full details of this. Brutal Bloody War. Light Fae. I'm assuming it's light and dark Fae. Don't know how I feel about that. Goliath. If it was Spanish, it'd be like Goyaya, Goyaya Verbane. To fulfill his destiny. His seer points to the Princess of Issos. Oh, so he is Why I can't say it. This is Goliath, and this is the Princess of Issos. Una. Nachtmir. Oh, I just at some point I do just get pissed off with fantasy names. Do you know what I mean? I love fantasy. It's my favorite genre. I will never ever nothing will ever overtake it. King Gol. I just think it's such a shit name. Goliath. Gol for short. Like it's just Gollum. Nachtmir. Oh. I don't know. I don't know about that one. And then we've got some Christmas ones that are coming out. Christmas Tree Farm. I thought it was the author of Pumpkin Spice. This looked like the... someone who hates Christmas. Fuck that. I'm sorry. I don't like Scrooges. Number 1 in romance. Number 1 in new adult. Most popular books on NetGalley in 2022. Why is this on the most requested? That was 2 years ago. A Very Irish Christmas. There's lots of just Christmas stuff at the moment. The Pucking Proposal. I'm just getting distracted. Same. Sometimes I give up trying to say them right and renaming them in my head. 100%. I do exactly the same thing. Oh, what did I read recently? I can't remember which one it was. And I was just like, this is the stupidest name ever. And I am just literally going to call you something else in my head. It might have been in this stupid Huco thing. Or maybe it was in Bonded by Thorns. One of their names was just stupid. And I was like, I'm just not saying that. I can't remember, but it was definitely something recently. It was either this or the Runaway Huco. Bloody Kindle Unlimited. And I was just like, that's just stupid. I'm just not saying that in my head because it's just going to take me out of the story. I'm just getting obsessed now with like looking at stuff. So Real has to be done. Absolutely. Take it offline. This looks like really badly drawn. I'm not going to lie. More Christmas. Apparently this is the most requested books. More Christmas. I feel like all the Christmas ones come out in October. Never Have I Ever. Isn't that a horror film? Hate this cover. That's so gross. Alwyn Hamilton. I've heard of her. Pumpkins. Gosh, there's a lot of romance. This is just literally a generic romantasy cover. I haven't heard of any of these books. Maybe if I go into sci-fi and fantasy. Recently added in sci-fi and fantasy. Fireheart. Oh, I'm sorry. What is this? I mean, to be fair, I think that's more of like a... Well, this seems like a possibly Chinese name, but I've never... Todonya. Hadana Titolani. I say this, even the names in like Game of Thrones and stuff pissed me off. So like Where Hair is a normal like Asian name, I think, but I've never seen anything like these. Titolani. This is just it's just a lot. It's always just a lot. That's all of like the same. Reader recommended, most requested books. This is in fantasy now. Oh, Odd Spirits. Right. What's kind of annoyed me is that I thought Odd Spirits was the sequel to Evocation, but it's not. It's a prequel of like, oh, like a fight that the main couple had the year before. And I'm kind of like, I don't really care. Like, we already know that they're fine because they're in the first book. So I kind of don't care about this one. It'll probably be written fairly well, but like I'm just not excited for it. I would have loved for it to be the sequel to Evocation. Strange Beasts. I'm getting distracted now. I really am getting too distracted. I'm actually very much looking forward to continuing reading Academy for Liars. So I think we're just gonna carry on, to be honest. I mean, my voice is still... It's not great, so... I'm not gonna lie, I think we'll just go for another 45 minutes. I think we're gonna get a lot of reading done tonight, guys, or whatever productivity, or even not productive. Even if you're not being productive, but you're just hanging out, that's better than doing nothing. So here we are. We're all together and we're all in the same boat. Right. I think it's time for another sprint. So what I'm going to do is set this for 45 minutes. did we do? I actually got loads of fucking pages in that, considering it was only a 45-minute sprint. I started on page 72, and I'm now on page 137. So 55 pages. For 45 minutes is not bad. I'm usually about a page a minute, so that's considerably a little bit more faster. That was such a shit sentence. A little bit more faster. Nobody fucking speaks like that. Anyway, how did the rest of us do? I'm actually really, really engrossed in this book now. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I'm only 137 pages in, and there's about 450 pages. So I'm very intrigued and very excited to see where it goes, because I feel like a lot has happened so far. I would say maybe like a couple of scenes or a couple of like dialogues or a couple of conversations between characters have maybe been skipped over ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I would have liked to like linger on a few more scenes. But on the whole, currently at like a 4.5 star. I love giving like updates of like, currently it's sitting at a 3 star, or currently it's sitting at a 4 star. Currently it's at a 4.5. I wouldn't say, if it ended now, I wouldn't have given it 5 stars, like just because of that tiny little thing. But that very well could change, because I'm such an ending and plot girly. Like if the end plot has like a really good plot twist, or it all just comes together in a really great way, then that can bump it up to a 5 star for me. Like even in the last couple of chapters can bump things up to a 5 star. An example of that, I would say, would be Empire of the Vampire. The like end of that bumped it to a 5 star. Similarly with not the Shadow Cabinet, her HMRC, Her Majesty's Royal Coven. That the last couple of chapters bumped it up to a 5 star. I'm really looking forward to rereading that one actually, and then continuing the series. But she only just brought out like a prequel, Queen Bee, which is about Anne Boleyn, which like apparently was not very good. Not very good, but like it was okay, supposedly. I've not read it, and I've not read the sequel, The Shadow Cabinet, yet either. I kind of want to look. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a trilogy. Is HMRC going to be a trilogy? Yes, it is going to be a trilogy, supposedly. That's from, well, that's the AI overview, which is usually shite. But on Penguin Random House, it is under the HMRC trilogy. So I would like to know the third book. I don't know. It doesn't say what the third book is called. Hey, Hannah, you're back now after dinner and dealing with uni stuff. Yeah, Hannah, I feel like you've been at uni for like 5 years. Is it PhD you're doing? I can't remember. Or a doctorate. Or are they the same thing? That's the same thing, right? Am I crazy? Her Majesty's Royal Coven. This is a new cover. I've not seen this cover. Look at this. I've not seen that cover before. I quite like that. I quite like that cover. Hello, Robin Hoodio. Yeah, Robin Hoodio. How you doing? Only 3.84. I feel like it deserves more than that. I see. Look, Megan's giving it 5. Karis 5. L 5. These people have taste. That's all I'm gonna say. Katie with a 4. That's okay. Katie, I trust you. I love you. I gave it 5. Where's my review? It's at the top. Where's mine? Hello? I swear it's meant to show your own one. Wow, lots of people have read this. I knew it was popular, but... Oh, here it is. It's just that all I said was the last chapter bumped it from 4.5 to 5. Yes, I'm looking forward to reading the sequel to this one. You're good? I'm doing really well. I'm reading An Academy for Liars, which is the new Alexis Henderson, which is coming out next month. I'm pretty sure it's next month. I got an arc for it on NetGalley. Oh, no, it's expected September 17th, supposedly. I don't think that's the UK. An Academy for Liars. I don't think that's the UK release date, surely. I can't remember. Yes, like 24th of October in the UK. I thought so. Maybe that's the American release date. And it's going really well. I don't know why I'm talking to you over here. It's going really, really well. I'm really enjoying it. Yes, I knew it was a PhD doctorate. Trying to finish writing my thesis before Christmas, slowly losing my mind and regretting all my life choices. This is the final stretch though, right? The thesis is the final thing. Is that correct? I only did an undergraduate degree, so I've not even done like a master's or anything. Although I may go back and do a master's because that's what people who don't know what they're doing with their lives do, right? They just do a master's. Love all my friends who've done masters, and I'm thinking about doing it, so I can't say anything. But I know a lot of people who just did a master's because they didn't want to stop uni. They just wanted to carry on. And B, they just didn't know what they wanted to do anyway, so they just did a master's. Although I am living at home for the time being, so I'm kind of stuck with like masters that are at Swansea Uni. And I kind of wanted to do like a master's in like publishing or something, but they don't have that at Swansea Uni. If I type in Swansea Uni Masters, it's just a lot of like, they've got a creative writing masters, but that's not like what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? They've got a couple of accounting ones. Professional accounting. What does that even mean? It's a 4-month course. What? How can you do a master's in 4 months? That's crazy. What? 4-month full time. I have never heard of a 4-month master's. That's crazy. Oh, thesis, then you have to defend it in front of examiners, then whatever corrections they request. Gosh. And it's something to do with biology, right, that you're doing, Hannah? It's not, is it just straight biology or is it like just adjacent? I think it's, I'm like 99% sure it's biology based. From what I remember of you telling me. International accounting. I mean, I don't even necessarily want to be an accountant anymore. So I could do marketing. I feel like marketing could be helpful with like online stuff. Because like ideally I would really love to like work for like Illumicrate or Fairly, like Illumicrate mainly because they are my favorites and they always have been my favorites this entire time. So if I had like a master's in marketing or something, maybe they would be like, ooh, yeah, we'll hire her for a 22 grand a year job. You know what I mean? Like I'd have to start from the beginning. Gosh, there's so many different. Oh, that's management, not marketing. A marketing master's. Numerous opportunities for advancement. I did the PhD because it was the most obvious choice rather than enter the actual adult world. And at that choice, I enjoyed research. They just suck all joy out of life. That's so funny though, right? Because I was just thinking this as I was reading An Academy for Liars because it's without spoiling anything at all, the premise of it is that she goes to a college or university if you're in the UK. But it's called sort of like a magical college, but not really. But she's 24. So like she tried to go to college and then dropped out. And then she's 24 now and she just like basically just gets like a call in like a phone booth and is like, you've been accepted at Drayton. And she's like, what? I don't know what that is. That's the premise. But like she's 24 and a lot of the people there are different ages. Like it's not like everyone's 24 and they get a call at 24. It depends what like stage you are in life when you get accepted at this like college. And as I was reading it, I was going through in my mind, I was thinking how like recently I've been really nostalgic for university life. Even though when I actually really deep it and I really think about it, I was also really still struggling when I was at university, like mental health wise, and work wise, like doing the work and doing the study. But at least when I was at university, I had like a guaranteed social life. I know not everyone does because, everyone's different and everyone's lives are different at uni, but university is much more predisposed to you being able to make friends and keep friends for life. Like, I have friends for life from uni now. I have some that I don't speak to anymore for many different reasons. But we won't dwell on that. But like my first year uni house has like stuck by me, and I've stuck by them. Like, we meet up at least once a year. We're meeting up in February. We're gonna get an Airbnb and just like get together for like a long weekend, drink, do some talking, yapping, catching up. So like, I'm so nostalgic for university and like missing university and getting quite sad, and like, I feel quite alone at the moment in the adult world. It's actually really hard. But when I was at uni, I was mega nostalgic for secondary school, where I was like, everything was so much easier. It was a more strict schedule, so I had to do it, and I didn't have to like make myself study. There were more people around, so more opportunities to be social. So it feels like, I think a lot of people get this, where like wherever you're at in life, you always look back at maybe the most recent couple of years, or like a few years back, with the most rose tinted glasses, and you want it to be like that again. But say like 2024 now, it may be that in 3 years I'll look back on my life right now and feel quite nostalgic for it, and I'll be like, wow, you had like so much time off work and you were able to read all the time, and you really like romanticize times in your life when you're looking back with those rose tinted glasses. So I'm attempting at the moment to kind of romanticize my current life, even though everything has fallen to shit and, everything is currently not ideal. I feel like depression makes you focus on the past, and anxiety makes you focus on the future. And I have like a tiny bit of both. So I'm trying to almost cancel those two things out by bringing it together and trying to very much focus on the present, because I really can spiral. I can spiral. I could sit here and be like, oh God, this has happened to me. XYZ has happened this year. I'm so alone. I have nobody and all this. Like, I could really sit and ruminate with that. Or I could sit here and be like, okay, I'm going to put my phone down and stop scrolling on TikTok. And I'm just going to do one thing. Like today, I'm just going to pick something to do. Even if today is, I'm just going to read all day and I don't do anything else, at least I'm doing like one thing or doing something, And that's the same case for all of you. Even if the one thing you've done today is go, I'm going to turn on Sabriel's stream, I'm going to hang out, maybe chat, maybe not. You can lurk. I'm absolutely fine with that. I lurk all the time on people's live streams, mainly on like the YouTube booktuber ones, because they tend to have a lot more people on them, to be fair. I'm a lurker. And even if that only gives you like a sense of fake socializing, but like we are socializing right now, like, right? Like, even though I'm talking at a camera, I'm talking to you in the camera right there, you who are watching this, and some people are talking in the chat and I'm talking back. So if there ever is a point where you do feel alone, realistically, you could just hop on a stream where someone is talking rubbish like me and just chat. Oh, Hannah, it is microbiology. I knew it. I'm so glad you agree. Oh, and Lilac Ghost just says, you're so right. I'm making a conscious choice to write down everything I have right now, because on paper, I have so much of the things I wanted when I was 18, but I don't notice enough. Absolutely. I don't know how we even got onto this. I'm really getting on my soapbox here. But like 14, 13-year-old me, not just with aesthetics, but the way everything I've achieved so far, even if right now everything is kind of shit in general, everything I've achieved so far and my aesthetic and the way I am and just the person I am 13, 14-year-old me would be absolutely thrilled. I think that she would be absolutely enamored with me. And that's what I think about. And I think I'm just carrying on for her because, I feel like a lot of us in the bookish community have probably been bullied, very alone sometimes. Like, we have our friends, but like, you never had big groups of friends. Sometimes you weren't invited to things. I feel like a lot of us can empathize and like relate to stuff like that. So when we do get these communities online, particularly the bookish community, we kind of forget like who we were back then, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like I don't know. I'm trying to be grateful for what I have, I guess. And and let me tell you, when I'm in the pit of depression and and someone's saying that to me, I'll be like, shut the fuck up. Like, there could be someone watching this right now who is like, mate, respectfully, you're asking me to be grateful for what I have right now. I just want to die. And I've been there. I still am there at some points, but I have to like forcefully pull myself out of this place to kind of just get on with it. Because with life, you just kind of have to get on with it. And that is what keeps me going. And I'm not even gonna lie, it's pure spite at this point. Pure spite is keeping me going. And I'm like, even if reading one book and ticking it off on Goodreads gives me a bit of serotonin, then I'm gonna focus on doing that. And if streaming to you guys once a week is all I can handle right now, then that's what I'm gonna do. So allow yourself the little things, allow yourself to do small things and reward yourself for it. Because I used to be such I think I burned out so quickly when I was away and like away from home, and I was like living my own life and being so independent, hyper independent. I burned myself out because I was doing so much. I was working 40 hours a week. I was going to the gym 3 times a week. I was going to dance like 4 times a week. And then I was going out on the weekends. And it was brilliant. I tell you what, I fucking loved it because I love being social and I love doing those things. I wasn't forcing myself to do those things. But now it can be very much like I beat myself up because I physically can't do that anymore. My brain won't allow it. But I've learned, or I am learning, I'm in the process of learning to be okay with it. So even if today, Sunday, okay, we'll give today a bit of a write off because I'm still a little bit hungover from the wedding on Friday. But like, I slept most of today, but instead of beating myself up for it, I said, look, clearly I needed to catch up on some sleep or some rest, and that's okay. That's fine. And then today feels productive. To someone else this may not be productive. In someone else's life, like streaming and reading is not a productive thing, but for me it is, because I would be doing nothing otherwise, like lying in bed, scrolling on TikTok, and or just sleeping and doing nothing. So all I'm trying to say, I guess, is whatever you have done today or whatever you end up doing each day, allow yourself that you were clearly only able to do that much today and reward yourself for it, is what I'm trying to say. Why am I a prophet currently? Hannah, I'm so glad you don't feel alone with the bookish community. Like, same with me. Like, I was so out of touch with the whole community for 2 years because I just got so in my head and like just was focusing on real life or whatever. But coming back to it now, it's like riding a bike. Like, coming back, everyone's been so welcoming. And even like friends, like closer friends that I haven't really spoken to a lot, like Mads, Christy, Tasmin, like so many people that I've just not really spoken to loads. Like, when I've like messaged them again, it's just been exactly the same. It's been the same as always, and that is so great, and it's just so nice, and I feel so lucky that I've got that to always fall back on. And that's why I still decided to stream again. I was just like, even if I've got one person who likes the way I speak or likes having me on in the background, and I like streaming myself, like I like speaking, obviously. God, does she ever shut up? No. I love speaking to people. I love socializing. I love entertaining. So I'm just doing it, and I'm not really bothered about how many people there are or how it's going or whatever. And I'm just, every week, this is one thing I'm now committed to, is like I'm streaming on a Sunday. Even though earlier I woke up from my nap and I was like, oh my God, I really don't want to stream later. I did want to, but because of the brain chemicals, it felt like I didn't want to. But as soon as like 6:30 started coming, I was like, oh yes, I'm so excited. So there's no conclusion to that. I think we should do another sprint. I just like talked absolute shit at you for 10 minutes. But I hope it hit some kind of what's the word? I hope it rung some kind of bell. That's what I'm trying to say. But I think we should carry on because I got, what was it? 55 pages in that sprint. And I'm very excited to carry on. So, oh, Hannah, I'm so glad that you're glad I'm back. It is good. I do like to think I bring a sort of uniqueness to the bookish community because a lot of people here, you know, there's a lot of influencers, there's a lot of booktubers. I like to think my personality stands out a little bit. What time is it? It is 20 to 10. Let's do one more sprint just because it's a school night. So yeah, let's do one last sprint and then we will say goodbye at the end and we'll get our infamous shuffle on Spotify and see if anything good comes up. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. We have a friend. We have a child in our midst who wants a little cuddle. Hence why she's come to cuddle me, haven't you? Because it's bedtime. And she knows when it's bedtime. So that's why she's here. Isn't it? She woke up and she said, "Where's my mummy? It's bedtime. And I deserve a cuddle." Didn't you? And you're sliding off me right now. So, there we are. How did we all do? Let me just check where I got to. Page 194. I started on 137. So, like 58 pages? Is that right? 57 pages? 57 pages. Come on, get down now. There we are. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Oh. There we go. We'll be in bed in a minute now. Nearly got to page 150 of Amari. She's driving me nuts. Yeah, she makes a lot of choices, as Tatiana from season 2 of Drag Race says, choices in this book. Yeah. Choices that she is a child, so you can't really like begrudge her that much, but yeah, she kind of annoyed me in this book a lot. Do you need to go out for a wee? I will be with you in a second. So yeah, I got 57 pages. I'm really enjoying. I'm probably going to hop into bed, get ready for bed, and continue reading, to be honest, because I'm really enjoying it. Again, though, a couple of things are happening a little bit too fast. A couple of scenes or a couple of conversations between characters definitely could be a bit more lingered on. But other than that, I'm having a really good time. So there's that. I am going to now play you out with Shuffle and we'll see what comes up. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm here every week at 7 p.m. BST. Well, it'll be GMT soon in October, but currently it's still BST. 7 p.m. every Sunday, here to talk bookish BS, do some reading sprints, and just yap away, to be honest. Yeah, Hannah, she has not learned anything from her exploits. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna shuffle my